Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. It is Monday. Holy moly, August 25th. I feel like I'm always saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe how quick time is moving. And I cannot believe that we are already in August, almost September. But I guess that's kind of relevant for what I'm going to talk about on this Monday morning motivation. We'll call this one Insights from My Goal Setting Journey. Good morning, Anne. Hello, everyone. So I love setting goals. I set goals on a, you know, decade basis, on a 5-year basis, on a yearly basis, on a quarterly basis, on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, and sometimes even hour by hour. Sometimes I hit my goals and it's great. Other times I do not hit my goals and it's still totally okay. I have in the past set really big goals and been motivated by that because sometimes when I set a really big goal, it pushes me a little bit further. But I find that I'm very data driven, and the more data I can put behind a goal, the more likely I am to meet it. And I'm also a visual learner. And so if I have a visual to go with my goal, that can be really, really helpful. Motivation to consistently Monday. Yes. Good morning. Let's see. Denise, Emily, Vera, Madonna, Yelena, and DA. Good morning. Good morning. So I set a whole bunch of goals at the beginning of this year, 2025. And now we're 4 months from the end of the year. And there's really just been, well, 2 goals that I'm going to actually accomplish, of the maybe like 5 that I set. But one of them in particular, the reason that I'm going to accomplish it, it's still a reach, but I have momentum on it and I have a visual, I have data behind it. I'm going to show you this so it makes more sense. Yes, Data Diva. Yes. Good morning, Trish. Good morning, Mitzi. Okay, so I use my phone screen to be a motivator. I don't have any icons on it, but I do use widgets that give me information because I look at my screen a lot. So I have a lot of constant feedback from whatever I'm looking at. I recently, this year, at the beginning of this year, discovered an app called Steps Widget on an iPhone. Widgets are like the big things that you can put on your screen. And as I was playing around with it, I saw that it gave me historical data on my annual step count. And that historical data blew me away. So let me just share my screen here so you can see what I am talking about. Okay, so this is a screenshot of my phone. And up on the top, you'll see it says 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025. These are my annual steps year by year. And the thing that was basically a gut punch was when I looked at 2021 and remembered how absolutely in a deep depression I was in 2021. I was in one of the worst depressions of my life. And I started to pull myself out of it in 2022. And wow, does that data reflect that so clearly? My step count for the year in 2021 was 1.6 million steps, right? And then my step count in 2022 was 2.1 million steps. Now, 2023 and 2024, I was just hovering around 3.5 million steps. But seeing that data really, really shook me because I recognized retrospectively how I was very depressed, but also I wasn't moving. And I know for me, I have to be moving in order to it's one of my equations for not being so depressed, right? And that's what I learned in 2022. I was trying everything I could to desperately pull myself out of feeling depressed. All of that. So I saw this visual, I had the data, and I thought, okay, I want to have a great year walking. I want to move my body as much as I can this year. And a very solid number that seems achievable, but still a stretch would be to try and hit 4 million steps this year. So my goal at the beginning of the year was to hit 4 million steps this year. And that's about 11,000 steps a day, a little under. So I set up this whole screen on my phone so that I would have these data point inputs on a regular basis and be able to really track where I was with this goal. If I didn't have this visual data, I'm not sure that I would have stuck with it. But every time I open up my screen, I'm seeing my information. And I put a little countdown on there so I could see how many days are remaining. And I know the last week or so, my steps were a bit lower because I was doing a lot of traveling. And that's just kind of what happens. I drove 22 hours, not a lot of steps when you're driving. And just in general, I had, some life things happening. But my point being here is that I have had momentum. I've had constant data input on this goal. And at this point, we're at August 25th. I have momentum. Like the end goal is still in reach. It's still a bit of a stretch, right? You can see I have a lot of 9,000 step days, a couple of 7,000 steps in there. And really, I need to be averaging about 11,000. But because I have momentum on this goal and because I have the visual data every single day, staring me in the face, I am continuing to move forward and pretty sure I'm like, I really want to hit this goal. I really want to because I'm thinking about it every single day. So, yeah, it's very cool, right? So anyway, my Monday morning motivation is here's the kind of what I'm getting at. And let me just pull this back up again here. Number one, it is never too late to set a goal. You can set a goal right now and for any amount of time. Goal setting can be very motivating. It is also something that can be a little unmotivating if you forget about the goal, you're not actively working on the goal, if the goal was too hard or too difficult, if you don't have momentum on the goal. So, if you want to set a goal and you want to accomplish it, let's say you want to declutter your bedroom, maybe put a picture on your phone of like on your background of a bedroom that you're really inspired by. So every time you're looking at your phone, you're seeing that picture. Find a way to actually track the data. How many spaces do I need to declutter? How far have I gotten? Track that data and give yourself momentum. Keep working on it a little bit every single day because once you cross that like 50% mark, 60% mark, you have momentum and the end is actually closer than it ever has been before, right? You're past that halfway point. So it actually feels achievable and then that inspires you even more to do it. All right, so that's my Monday morning motivation for you. Set a goal, make it visual, give yourself some data, and build momentum. And that really, really can help. And if your phone is just a whole bunch of icons and you're searching constantly for things, spend 5 minutes, learn how to use widgets, learn how to not have all those icons on your phone, and put in front of you the most inspiring thing because you are looking at your phone so many times a day might as well feel inspired by what you are seeing. All right, friends, have a wonderful, wonderful week. And if you have any tricks of the trade that work for you when it comes to goal setting, please pop them into my inbox, jess@clutterboss.com. I would love to read all about them. And I'm wishing you so much success this week. Bye, everyone.